Okay, so I came in just like everybody else. In fact, Chelsea, you were just talking about On Guard. What, I came in because someone let me smell an empty bottle of On Guard. That's how much I craved it. And I said, I have to have this. And Steve hated scents. I bought it thinking, I don't know what he's going to do, but I was glad it came in that wooden box and I closed the box.
Yeah, but I didn't like the false, phony scents. I really loved the
Yeah.
doTERRA true smell.
But, you know, I didn't know the difference really what that was going to be. But I think we all come in the same way. There's something that draws us to those oils. And, you know, at that point, I was close to 60, and I thought, if I go into the doctor, they're going to find something seriously wrong with me. And so I was avoiding going in. And I think a lot of people do that. And it wasn't very soon after I just embraced the oils and used them all the time that I began to feel sort of younger. And then one day I woke up, and it was different. I said, I don't feel younger, I feel timeless. And that was an awesome place to be, where, you know, age didn't seem like, you know, it was counting off the days of my life. You get close to 70, you begin to wonder a little bit now. But anyway, and so we committed into this because of this guy here. He saw that level calculator, so if you haven't seen that and played with that, it turned his head. And he's the businessman in my family, and he always ran his own business. And he looked at that and he goes, do you realize how quickly we could do this? He says, we can do this.
You want to make it more dramatic? This was in 2008 when the downturn hit me, destroyed my business.
Yeah.
I mean, still functioning, but just took all my money. Our house, the investment in the house went down, the investment in stocks went down. We were just...
Yeah, our plans for retirement were in, you know, the sewer.
And we saw this, and I saw that, and together we said, we can do this faster than I could ever rebuild my business.
So that's what we started to do, and Cynthia was the first person that I started to do classes with. And we didn't know much about the oils. And we sat at her kitchen table and held up a picture of lemon. Lemon does this, and we passed around lemon. And she was doing that as I was going around the back of everybody, rubbing oils on them, giving them shoulder rubs. And, you know, they started to enroll and began to see the value of it.
And there's at least 2 or 3 people that were at that first class that are still enrolled.
Yeah.
Still.
Mm-hmm. So that was 10 years ago.
Right, that
So-
number every month, I have people that.
Yeah. So so there's a long journey here. I've got a journey of 10 years. So you go from the beginning where you're just literally, at that point, I didn't feel like I had money to do it. But I had to have my On Guard. I felt like Rapunzel's mother that looked over the garden wall and said, I gotta have that herb. And she was willing to give up a child for it. Oh, I mean, that was that kind of a
Well, you
craving.
had 9 of them.
Yeah, I had 9 of them. Yeah,
Easily
yeah.
give up a kid.
So, you know, so I went from there to committing through Steve to spend my time with this. And we actually put both feet in. Now, I don't suggest that you necessarily have to do that, but at our age, who's going to hire someone who's in their 60s, who's run their own business, you know? I actually had gone to Costco and figured the next best thing I was going to do is pass out samples at Costco. I thought that would be fun. Well, passing out samples of doTERRA was a lot better. But anyway, so we did that, and we made a lot of sacrifices, and we went down to our pennies a lot of times. And I decided, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to live happily within our means. And for us, we sold our house and moved in with our daughter in the basement. That was a little bit humiliating in our age. But we did that, and she was kind to do that for us. And those were still some of my happiest days. And as she started being turned on to doTERRA, it was the same thing you did. I love these people. She says, these are like-minded people with me. And so she started building too, Matt started building, Cynthia started building. And so tonight I want to tell you a little bit of difference between direct sales and networking, because it makes all the difference in the world. Because if I take you from right now, think of where you are right now, and then you project yourself like she projected herself for what Laura had told her what her income was. So picture what that would be. Picture for yourself what that income would be and what your life would look like if you had that. And then I'm going to describe to you what's in the middle. What's in that journey in the middle? And how do you get to that without feeling scatterbrained, okay? Because I gave myself a couple of mantras in the beginning. One was, I'll be known for what I started. That means I didn't end it, did I? So I want you to get this all in the context of networking. I'll be known for what I started. The other one was, I'll attract people by the thousands, but I will connect one to one. And the last one was, and it was the most important one, I was saving it. Just a second, I'll remember it. I'll come back to it, it'll come to me. But there was another mantra that I had.
No biggie.
Okay, so we made a video on networking because how many of you have come across people that say, I don't like network marketing? Okay, it's kind of common, you know? And so we sit there and we allow them to give us the definition of it. So I woke up one day and I says, you know, this has been a pretty good journey. This is pretty awesome. I have connected one with lots and lots and lots of people. This has not been an unpleasant journey. Nobody has ever got mad at me for helping them learn how to use the oils. Has anybody got mad at you for your, no, they don't, right? If they feel like they're being used in sales, could they? And that's what we're afraid of. So I redefined to what network marketing was to me, and I lost all of that problem. So we came up with this video, and I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to break it apart for you.
It's only a minute long, but we've done it 2 versions. I'm going to do it, the first version was the first one, and then the second version. Just a little tweak that really impresses me, and it might you, on what our kind of networking is all about.
I love networking.
We are a network. I see our company as a large circular ball that we equally come to.
Our task? It's simple. We connect people. We build a network.
We create an income by the density of our impact. We make connections. We keep connections.
As we grow, we realize we are part of something we did not start. Nor will it end with us.
Our synergy is creating a safety net for millions.
Embrace the network.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that concept. Making money is what you have to do to be in this world. It's how you raise your family. It's how you can give things to other people. You have to have a way to earn an income. But some people get a little not sure that they like that quite as dramatic as all of those connections that we showed. So the first part of this is exactly this.
I love networking.
We are a network. I see our company as a large circular ball that we equally come to.
Our task? It's simple. We connect people. We build a network.
We create an income by the density of our impact. We make connections. We keep connections.
As we grow, we realize we are part of something we did not start. Nor will it end with us.
Our synergy is creating a safety net for millions.
Embrace the network.
Feel the difference? So I'll tell you what my goal was when I came into doTERRA. I realized my stories, the sharing I'd done, was all really within my family. and maybe those that I had in church, I was hungry for stories. I was really hungry for connections. And maybe that's why I so value building a network. Every thing in the world that is worthy of anything has been put together with a network. And when we look together at what we can do for the healthcare, it is networks that change the ground level of where everybody is. It never comes from up here, it comes from down here. And so I remembered my last thing. I am going to work myself out of a job, even in doTERRA. So when we properly network, we don't end up with this huge sales organization that we're over. For each leader that you start, you help them along the way, and they become independent. That's why we named ourselves doTERRA. We were originally doTERRA Generations, and they said you gotta change it. But it was generations, because what we're doing is actually creating new generations of independent people. We haven't done our job, even in changing healthcare, until the mother in her home is taught. And we have another slogan that everyone is part of the movement. So for me, this is a movement. It is a safety net for millions and millions of people, which we don't have today. And that's our own empowerment. And so I really got into this. I'm still really into this. Because when we build networks, they're powerful and they don't ever end. I remember in the beginning I was starting and we had those little classes at Exeter, and they grew from like 2, 3 maybe coming to like 40 people coming. And then it was the same 40 people coming over and over again. And I said, well, you know, nobody's bringing any new people. Why is that? And they said, oh, it's too far away. And so we said, okay, no more classes here. And the next week, everybody held classes in their own homes. Next Generation started. And we had 6 classes going every week instead of 1. And then those grow into more and more and more as we teach independence to the people that we have. And so I kept that forward in my thinking, that, you know, it's like the mother who says to the little pigs, go out and build your house now. And that's the difference between networking and setting up a sales organization. You can look at it as though you're going to set up a sales organization. Then when you've built it, you're going to sit back and you're going to say, oh, it's done. And then we sit and manage it. And then it becomes stagnant because there's no life breathed back into it. So as you go into doTERRA, that journey between here and here of maybe where you thought your magic would be at the end, the in-between part of there, you have grown generations of other people that have felt the same way, that they've seen the dream out there and now they've achieved it too. So I gave you this. This is something that we kind of get out at our dinners. And going back to every single person in doTERRA, doTERRA has given a gift. They celebrate with you. Or you receive something. doTERRA never takes anything away. They only bless you. And so for every single one of us, anyone, just those that get the oils, these are the things, if you feel this way, I consider the possibilities of maintaining my health in powerful ways. Or I use doTERRA products as part of my health and wellness goals. Or I like to continue learning about essential oils. See how this is building up the independence of the woman in her home, or the father. I love being connected to others so we can share our experiences. There's nothing that moves like the stories that we have. I am grateful to those who have introduced me into doTERRA. We always come in through an introduction of someone else. So how does doTERRA celebrate you with that? You receive wholesale pricing. You're not going to count. You get 25% off. Every single person, from the presidential diamonds down to the brand new person who just came in, all of us have the exact same account. We all buy doTERRA at the same price. So I can choose to earn LRP points. They give me 20 to 30% back of free product. So doTERRA will give immediately back to them up to 30% of whatever they're paying into oils, never sharing it with another person. The woman in her home, she's the goal. It's not the presidential diamond. It's doTERRA's goal is the you and me with the oils in our bathrooms. That's the goal. And I can take advantage of the product of the month, so we can get an extra free one. Okay, so let's say, turn to the next one, if you want to pass it on to other people. So passing it on. I'm gathering people to share my experiences. How many have gathered people to share their experiences? That's all we're talking about when we teach another person. I want to help others discover new and healthy possibilities for themselves. So think of that Live brochure and how we take them through that process. I am excited to share the new hope that I have with others. And you'll notice, which one is it that has doTERRA, bringing hope, healing hearts, raising leaders, living dreams. Isn't that awesome? So, it's the hope. So what does doTERRA do for you? You can receive 20% fast start on all of those people that you've shared with. You can receive and as you help other people start enrolling people, you can still receive another 10% if you help them do it, or a 5%. So this is an interesting thing because all of us belong to networks. So this is how networking going. This is different than the cells. All of us have networks, right? So a network I would define as a group of people that may not know the other group of people that you know. So it could be the people that you live next to. How about the people that you work with? They probably don't live next to each other. How about your family member? They could live anywhere in the United States. So that would be 3 networks, right? So we all have at least three networks that are independent of the other. And so what if there's one person in each one of those networks?
Describe the networks.
Each one of those each person that you bring in, they belong to at least 3 networks. So if you have 3 people, then you have access to 9 networks. And what if you teach the next people that they can share with other people? You can see how it expands. That's the power of networking. Some people call it duplication. I like networking because it creates this safety net. To me, networking is a safety net of some sort that we're working on. And so as you teach the other people, doTERRA understands the power of you moving through them into the other networks. And as you do that, they teach their people. And in the end, you may have like 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 people in your group, but you don't know very many of them because the people who love them brought them in and taught them. So sometimes you get to people, and I'll just be bold, and they say, I don't have any friends. Everybody has at least 3 networks. And when they say that, they're closing their networks. So the goal of learning networking is to realize, how do you get people to open their networks versus how do you have people, what messages are you giving that they close their networks? So we protect our networks. If we have, like our kids, think of our kids, we can say any complaints we want about them, right, as parents, and we do. But I'll tell you, if somebody else says something about your kids, it's like those are fighting words. We don't like that. And so if somebody's doing that, we're going to protect our kids from that person, right? So the energy that you come with as you share has to be very genuine. And if you do that, people will open their networks. So that's the secret. You want people to open their networks, not close their networks. So if you find that they're saying that, look at yourself and say, okay, what impression did I give them that they decided to close it? Because everybody will open them if they feel comfortable. So whenever I'm talking to anyone, I want them to go away with 3 ideas. I don't teach them these ideas, but I do things that make it so that this will be their self-talk as they leave. And this is an indication that they're opening their networks. Number 1, I want to come back. So think to yourself, as I share doTERRA, what am I doing that when they left, I can just hear them in their brain going, I want to come back, I want to learn more. The next one is, I'm in safe hands. Matt did a wonderful job as we started, saying how safe hands we are with doTERRA. Being in safe hands with doTERRA is as important as being in safe hands with you. And the last one is, I have what I need. And so in the beginning, you know, I don't want to seem like I'm like the salesperson. I told him how awesome these oils are. But the best way to learn about the oils is to have them in your home. And I'm not going to buy your oils. I don't buy your groceries, I'm not going to buy your oils. We all just opened up our own accounts. And it seemed very easy. And it was always in their lap to do it. So just you can read the other things, but as you go through it, as then you start connecting. So you may start passing it on, and then you start connecting up this network. You know, valuing and respecting each person in that network. And as you do that, those unilevel commissions will start to grow. And you will start receiving leadership and performance bonuses. Once you've done that over the back, you begin to get a commitment. You begin to see the movement that's in doTERRA. And your heart is kind of taken, right, Cynthia? It is. And we begin to, you know, have it in our heart. And when we have that commitment, and through the process of building myself and others, I am improving and reaching for my dreams. And then at the bottom, doTERRA celebrates with me with compensation. I receive unlimited compensation. And it literally is unlimited. There is no end to what you can have for that. So you'll probably find that your dreams will kind of grow. I started, I had to have my oils, I had to have them paid for because I didn't want to ask Steve for the money. So I started sharing kind of like in the beginning. But then once he told me how to do that, how this was going to work, I committed more. And then I said, how do I get to silver? And I talked to the person above me to find out how to go silver. Once I achieved that, I found out, okay, how do I go to the next step? And I took it one step at a time, and I grew with it, but I always remembered that it was in the network. It was honoring that network. And when you do that, and it passes from one generation to the other, then you can be up where you're earning a lot, and guess what? You've worked yourself out of a job. So what does it look like at this point? Almost all my leaders are independent. They take care of their group, and the leaders under them do. And you know what that allows me to do? Find new people and start over again. So, you know, I have a slogan, I'm a perpetual elite. I will always be an elite. And I love that position because it's not, you know, in this thing it says we all equally come to the network. And it's really true. We're all equals. There's not a hierarchy in here. We all come to it with the same account, the same opportunity. And to tell you, to be blunt, it cuts off at a certain level. And so, you know, you may hear some of these leaders saying, oh, I have 100,000 people in my group. Well, they're not going to get paid on 100,000. Okay, they're going to get paid on some of the others. So it's always an equal playing field for you. And so, you know what that does? It makes us all equal friends, which is really good. It's just maybe your leader maybe walked the road before. They went down the yellow brick road, which just means you have somebody who can give you a little bit of advice. But no one is your boss. And I think that's the most important thing. You get to do it your way. Because I'm a